Hello, welcome to Daniel's Inferno. My name is Daniel. Thank you for joining me today. If you have a moment, please like, subscribe, share, and join the conversation below. I'd love to hear from you. So today's video is on an individual that I have been a fan of and have followed for over a decade now. Tommy Robinson, real name Stephen Yaxley Lennon, is a British activist who brought to the forefront and brought to the conversation the issue of Muslim grooming gangs, or as the British government puts them, quote, Asian grooming gangs. Now, Tommy Robinson is a very controversial figure, and he has the ability to galvanize quite a few thousand people at almost the drop of a hat. It seems that over this weekend that has passed, there have been some issue or there has been an issue that has arisen. Well, he was out with his family on a day out, trying to have a very, a Sunday family day. So as you can see on my screen, Tommy Robinson was charged with Center Park swimming pool assault. So I am going to show you how the mainstream media is showing what's going on with Tommy. And then I'm going to show you Tommy's own uh, recollection and what happened. And then I'm going to let you guys kind of go from there. And I'd love to hear what your opinions are after the fact. So, police were called to the upmarket holiday camp's Woburn Forest site when a guest sustained a facial injury this past Sunday. A 37-year-old man was arrested on the scene while the injured man received first aid. Bedfordshire Police said the arrested man had been bailed until the 2nd of April to appear at Luton Magistrates Court. The ex-English Defence League leader, whose real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon, released a video saying he had been arrested. Center Parks and police confirmed that officers had been called to the site at around 1:10 on Sunday. And as you can see here, it's a very beautiful, serene looking area. It says in this picture, Center Park's Woburn Forest has a subtropical swimming paradise with rides and slides for all ages, the company said. So very clearly a family-oriented place to be. Why is Tommy starting a fight at a family-oriented place? Many of you are probably asking. It's one of the first things I thought of myself, at first glance, that is. Based off of this description, you'd think that Tommy started a fight. That's it. End of story. He started a fight and someone was injured and he was arrested. Well, this picture painted makes him look like the bad guy very clearly. So when we go over to his own website, TR News, we can see Center Park's child molesting Nonce has Tommy arrested. What? Just imagine taking your children out on a day trip to Center Parcs for a fun-filled day. Then, as Center Parcs child molesting nonce has Tommy arrested. Tommy took his kids and wife to Center Parcs for a fun-filled day. What Tommy wasn't expecting that the day was a struggle in the swimming pool leading to his arrest. Tommy's little girl is only 8. She went to Center Parcs excited to spend the time. However, it was spoiled by the predatory perversions of a child molesting nonce. Tommy's daughter was playing in the shallow end of the children's swimming pool at Center Parcs. A middle-aged man grabbed her bottom as he walked past. He said not one word. He didn't look at her. She, the little girl, in shock, ran to Tommy. This was the right thing to do. We teach our children about stranger danger. There's nasty men. Okay. Tommy immediately questioned his little girl on what happened so he could ascertain essentially the validity of what was going on. Tommy he confirmed what was going on. He then got his daughter to identify the pervert. Now, this is where things might diverge. Obviously, we weren't there. I actually don't blame Tommy for his actions. Um, if he was violent with this individual, regardless of the fact that this individual is a child molesting nonce, and I'm not protecting child molesters. Let me say that very clearly. As a victim of someone like that, never would I ever defend those type of people. However, the law we all must follow, regardless of if we don't like it and if it's unfair. We can stand up and we can try to fight those unfair laws, but the law is the law. Now, a decent father, Tommy challenged the man who squeezed his daughter's bum, with gritted teeth, giving the man the chance to explain the situation. Tommy was gobsmacked. The man admitted to pinching his daughter's bum by, quote, mistake. I don't know how that happens by mistake, and as you can see in red, neither does Tommy. Tommy realized he stood in front of a wrong gun, a man who seems to think it's okay to squeeze little girls' bums at Center Park swimming pool. So, before I continue, I'd like to say that in the BBC or any of the articles that are out there, really, outside of a select few, no one is talking about the fact that Tommy sustained injuries himself. So Tommy wanted to make sure the man was brought to justice and to the attention of the security staff and the police. So a struggle ensued. Tommy grabbed him, and the man grabbed Tommy by the throat. After the struggle, the man ended up getting a bleeding nose. So when you see here, you can clearly see very that is a handprint on someone's neck. Very visceral handprint. So obviously Tommy was choked or grabbed or physically assaulted on the neck in some way. So after the police were called by the security staff, Tommy waited 3 hours for them to arrive. After the police interviewed Tommy's wife and daughter, they confirmed the man admitted to grabbing his daughter's behind. You would think at this point the child molester would be arrested, carted away, and interrogated further at the police station. But it comes with a twist. No, the offender was not arrested at all. The police even confirmed this to Tommy at the time. The child molester complained about the injuries he suffered during the struggle. Because there were witnesses corroborating the offender's complaint, police arrested Tommy instead and charged him with common assault. There's not really much left to be read here. Now, what I'm going to show you is the YouTube video that Tommy put out. I warn you now, it starts off with, it's very loud and it starts off with a lot of profanity. I have turned the volume to half. We will see if that's good enough. If you just, before I even click play, you can see right on Tommy's face, right there, that anger is real. That is real anger. That is not manufactured anger. I would like to point that out.
He's broke my fucking daughter!
And I'm going to deal with it!
You're not! You're nicking me!
There's plenty of
What the
officers
fuck is that?
Plenty of officers!
Fucking nicking me!
We are dealing with
You
it!
fucking arseholes!
We are dealing
Someone
with it,
sexually
Tommy.
assaults a little girl and you fucking nick their dads!
We are dealing
fucking
with it.
Punch you like.
So, this morning I was released from police custody. I'll start at the beginning. Yesterday one of my friends was staying in Center Parks. He got me guest passes so I could take my children. I took all of my children and one friend for a day out at Center Parks. I was sat there with my wife, my kids were off playing in the pool, and my youngest daughter, who's 8 years old, come running out and running up to us, clearly emotional, saying a man had just grabbed her by the bottom in the pool. I'll now play the recording of what she told me. Who was he with, the man? Did you see when he was coming out of the pool?
No, I don't think his friend was with him.
He was just on his own. And which way was you facing? Show me tell me which to explain.
You know there, like, there's that side furthest away.
Yeah.
A little bit more there, I was standing there, and then he walked that way.
Walked round you.
No,
So say like this is the pool, yeah? On your way out, you come out this way, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Was you standing this way? You were standing facing, so your back was against the wall?
No.
No, the other way then.
I was talking to Maisie.
Oh yeah, so you're looking there, yeah. So you're there, and then he's come through where?
And then that's the entrance.
So if you're standing there like that, he's gone past you like this?
Yeah.
And then done
Squeeze my bum.
squeeze your bum like that?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not like he's even so you're like this or you're like this?
Talking to Maisie.
You're saying talking to Macy, he's gone past like that.
Maisie.
Okay, and then gone like that.
Yeah.
And when you say squeeze your bum, could he have brushed past and accidentally?
The reason I smiled and laughed there was just the fact that his daughter, even in this time of trauma, has the fortitude to uh, make a make a bit of a not even a joke, but to correct her dad on the pronunciation of her friend's name. I just thought that was funny. But I would like to also point out that, obviously I don't have kids of my own, and I'm not an expert, but I have worked with kids in some capacity, babysitting, helping with family members, children, etc. I'm actually looking to volunteer with a school and help children do about an hour a week and do some sort of mentoring program to help the kids. But this girl sounds, at least in my opinion, genuinely distressed, okay? Genuinely upset and confused about what has happened and what has been going on.
He knocked your bum? No? Show me like what?
We do.
Like a squeeze with your hand, like a clinch. Like that, like a squeeze. So on your, which cheek?
This one.
On that bum cheek. Okay. And what did he say? What did you say as he done it? Did you?
No, then I went straight out the pool and told
That's when you come running up. And what did he say? Nothing. Nothing at all. Did he look at you?
No.
Just walked off. On his own.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh man. Now, if a man accidentally knocked in or accidentally grabbed her bum, then he'd apologise. Okay. So the first thing I did was I took my daughter to identify who the man was. We found him. I looked at the gentleman. He was with another two gentlemen. I approached him. I told my daughter to go back to her mum. I approached him and asked, "Excuse me, who are you here with?" Now, Center Parcs is a holiday resort where families go with children. I asked him, "Are you here with any children?" No. Any women? No. 3 middle-aged men in a children's swimming pool. The allegation of grabbing my daughter's bum, clearly grabbing, not knocking against her, grabbing her bum. I then went on and instantly, so after asking him who he's there with, I then said, "What has just happened in the swimming pool?" And he said, "I grabbed her bum by accident." Okay.
All right, so I think that's plenty. I will put the entire link down in the description. However, for our purposes, I think you get the point. Um, so I know I have a personal bias that I like Tommy. I don't think he has a reason to make this up. And I think the fact that there are people on Twitter, which we will go to in a moment, who are almost gleeful that Tommy was arrested and this man was let free, if what happened did happen, is just horrendous. Like, where is your decency? When did we allow our hatred of an individual or an individual's ideas to override our sense of common morality when it comes to something like children? And not only that, what happened to believe all women? This little girl is saying a man, a middle-aged man, squeezed her bottom. But no, she's a liar because what? She's Tommy's daughter? So when do we make that distinction exactly? When does that distinction drawn? That we believe until X. So let's take a look, as I said, at the Twitter reaction. Um, Avi Yemeni, who is also a British individual on YouTube, has been trying to raise as much awareness about this as possible. Um, so then there's this individual, John O'Connell. Tommy Robinson arrested after confronting pedophile. That's in quote. And this is what the actual story was, apparently. Robinson got drunk in his role as a parent supervising his kids at a swimming pool, picked a fight, lost, and invented a little random story he knew his cultists would believe. Now, if you actually believe that, John, that's a very sad and bleak way to look at the world. I mean, what reason does this girl have to make it up, to put herself out there like this? The reason that Tommy had his phone faced up and not faced towards his kids is because, for the most part, you never see his kids. He tries to keep them as separate from him. He tries to keep his family as separate from his work, from his own doings as he can, to protect them, and rightly so. I hate Tommy Robinson, but if he was arrested for hitting a man who sexually assaulted his daughter, I'll be the first to say that's effed up and he should be released. I'll wait for the facts to come out, though, because I won't believe what him or his supporters say happened. And that's at least much more fair to want to see what the facts show. So, April 2nd at Luton Magistrates Court, you will be able to go and be at there for Tommy if you so please. And there you will also be able to see and hear the man's name, because they are not, as far as I can tell, arresting or charging this individual for his assault on the daughter, even though he admitted it. I'm not sure how you like clench someone by mistake. What's next? Are we going to start accidentally feeling up women just all over the place on streets? Oopsie, my face slipped into your breasts. That was an accident. Like, what's next? Seriously. This is the last tweet we're going to look at. It's from Avi Yemeni again. Hey, at Legis Legs id Elizy, can you please clarify when we should believe girls when it comes to sexual assault? Because it looks like you're calling an 8-year-old child a liar. Isn't it weird how massive racist Tommy Robinson goes to Center Parks and claims his daughter was touched by a quote Asian man, so smacks him one? This sort of thing hasn't happened to those of us who aren't massive racists who've been to Center Parks. So I'm glad that Elizabeth Amon here has been able to go to this holiday resort without anything happening. Honestly, I do not wish this on anybody. But the what the base tweet that Abby says is, it Me Too as long as they're not related to Tommy Robinson. And that's kind of my point, is when did we allow our hatred of Tommy and his ideas and what he stands for and fights for to cloud our common decency? Please let me know. Let me know how you feel. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I'm wrong and I'm extremely biased on this. Let me know if you think the police were wrong. Should this man have been charged? Should this man have been interviewed further? Should he have been brought to the police station? Should his phone have been taken from him? What should have happened? Should they just have talked to him? He said, oops, it was an accident, and off he goes? And why was this man there at a family resort with two other middle-aged men and no women or children? I mean, that these questions need to be asked. And when plausible answers are not brought to the forefront, a mind can wander. Thank you all for watching. I'm Daniel's Inferno.